So I thought I would demonstrate for you today a little trick that I use that has been very useful to me in one way or another for both education and entertainment. It's a memory trick. Memory tricks are fun. I've seen speakers do it by memorizing the names of the people in the audience. I've seen people do it with card tricks. I came up with one that I think is very original. I'm going to do it with you today. It'll be one of the first times I've ever done this. And so I'm working without a net, which again is somewhat interesting. You're wondering what it is. Can I do it? And I decided what I would do for you today is I would memorize the presidents of the United States in order. And I would give them to you today. And as an extra challenge to myself, I've only been working on it about a week. And as an extra challenge, I've only been studying the list while I brush my teeth. I've brushed my teeth a lot this week. Well, thank you, sir. Dentist? Thought so. So what's fun about this now is I've created a level of anticipation. Even if you're not taking me seriously, you're mildly interested in how I'm going to do this, whether I'm going to pull it off or this type of thing, and that's fine. That's exactly where I want you to be. So while I'm marinating you and loosening you up with the entertainment portion of the program, I'm also demonstrating or educating in a very serious way the power of actually knowing what you're doing when you get up to speak. Ladies and gentlemen, the presidents of the United States of America in order by memory. George Washington, of course, was the first president of the United States. He was the father of our country, but he had no children of his own. He was succeeded by John Adams, but not before he had a runoff against a guy by the name of Thomas Jefferson. Jefferson became the third president of the United States, followed by James Madison, James Monroe, John Quincy Adams, and Andrew Jackson. Jackson was followed by two presidents nobody remembers. Oh yeah, Martin Van Buren and a guy named Harrison. Harrison was followed by John Tyler, then James Polk, followed by the law firm of Taylor, Fillmore, and Pierce. Zachary Taylor, Millard Fillmore, and Franklin Pierce. Pierce was followed by The Bachelor, the only gentleman ever to be president of the United States and not be married, James Buchanan, followed by Abraham Lincoln and the Civil War years. Lincoln, of course, hi Trey, how are you?
Just great.
Lincoln, of course, assassinated and replaced by his vice president, Andrew Johnson. Lincoln from the north, Johnson from the south. Johnson wasn't very popular. In fact, he was impeached, replaced by the very successful northern general Ulysses S. Grant, followed by Rutherford B. Hayes. Hayes was replaced by a guy by the name of James Garfield. Garfield was assassinated and replaced by Chester Arthur. Arthur was followed by the Grover Cleveland sandwich. It was Grover Cleveland, another guy named Harrison, and then Grover Cleveland again. The final president of the 19th century was a guy by the name of McKinley, and I'm half done. McKinley was also assassinated, killed, and were followed by my favorite president, Theodore Roosevelt. Roosevelt was a very, very popular president. And he groomed his successor. It was going to be William Howard Taft. Taft and Roosevelt had a very serious falling out. And Roosevelt was so angry, he formed his own political party to run against the guy he groomed to be president. You remember this? Were you around?
No.
Oh. Sounded so familiar with it. And so what happened was Roosevelt got his bull moose ass kicked by a sissy from Princeton named Woodrow Wilson. You remember that? Then came the hard years, the Depression years. William Harding, Calvin Coolidge, Herbert Hoover. If Hoover got credit for putting America in the Depression, Franklin D. Roosevelt got credit for taking us out of the Depression. It was Franklin D. Roosevelt, Harry S. Truman, Dwight D. Eisenhower, and then came Camelot. John F. Kennedy, of course, assassinated after he was elected in 1960, shot in 1963, replaced by his vice president, Lyndon B. Johnson. Johnson replaced by Nixon. Nixon, oh, think about this. If Kennedy got us into Vietnam, Johnson endured Vietnam, Nixon got us out of Vietnam, but nobody remembers him for that. Sorry? Eisenhower got us in? Yeah, technically true. Okay, so then Nixon. When Nixon left, we brought in Carter. Swing to the left, right, Carter. Whoops. Ford. Short-termer. Ford, thank you. Actually, a nice little speaker trick. It's nice if I make a mistake. Isn't it?
Yes.
You feel better that I made a mistake, don't you? Because you caught me. You're so smart. In some ways, smarter than I'll ever be. And that works out well for all of us, doesn't it? Right, Carter, hostages. Carter, hostages, gets them out just before the cowboy Reagan comes into office. Thank you very much.
No, he didn't get them out.
What?
No.
Yeah, but it was planned, you know, in the same way that Eisenhower got us into Vietnam. You know how that works. Okay, so let's see, Reagan, and then I'm all messed up now. You got me rattled.
Go brush your teeth. You'll get back in.
Yeah, this guy, he says, go brush your teeth. It'll all come back to you. Anyway, Bush, Clinton, Obama. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Wow. Thank you.